It doesn't really matter, Botle, do you understand? Men are visual, we get that. If they find a woman attractive, they get to want to pursue. Marai bane, Botle ba hao, Botlo khoza hore basadi ba go tlogela hore o lo kwengwa. Hole, ke mon, and banna ba tengi ba thuswa hore ba lo kwenya basadi ba teng. Ke maswabi he go tshore ha o tswetse o le montle, then you will end up o le uinene wa nkutlwa. O tlo uzodlengulwa indoda ekudala ikumakile, dala ikuthakate ekuthaketile, and other women will stand back and do nothing. Utla targetwa wa nkutlwa. I don't know, I watch a lot of videos while I am doing my whatever on TikTok, and some of these women that do these TikToks, regular South African women, and I'm like, so ngeke sisenkingeni antwi. Remoma thatengi because now we did inherit good genes from abazali bethu. Remoma thatengi just because we got dimples, just cause sinama beauty spot, just cause sinenwele zinhle, just cause sibahlophe or sinama dark dindi, just cause we are pretty. It appears in the fellow we're in danger. Bahle labafazi all over the show. Bahle. Do you understand? Kaze uzobulalelwa indaba yokuthi umuhle nje just cause your parents gave you good genes. A good, gorgeous daughter is not supposed to be protected. Obuhle bentombi is not supposed to be used as a weapon against her. Do you understand? And yet Kimo, it is being used as a weapon. Basadi ba Mzansi, you are without excuse, Lankut. All of this GBV against you. Frankly, you caused it. You don't deserve it. Kodwa you caused it. You caused it because feel taki mo yaw. Hi, what's up? I'm inside now. Okay, yeah. Alright. It's a guy. Yes, like I said, there's a lot of beautiful women online. There's just a lot of beautiful women at all in the black community, and for us to just keep getting slaughtered like we are sheep, like going to the slaughter like we are cows being prepared for beef, it's just unacceptable. But anyway, whatever. So just to conclude the story concerning the alpha lipoic acid, I took it basically 2 more over and above the 2 that I had taken 20 minutes prior, and I was able to sleep like a baby. So I realized that dosage was what it is that was at this point imperative to ascertain that I don't have problems anymore. So this morning, after waking up, well, it wasn't really morning, it was afternoon, like 12:30. I woke up at like 12:30, and I didn't have any pains. I was just completely cool. The pains, however, started to come as I was busy doing my stuff around the house, up and down, washing dishes and what have you. I took 4. This time around, I just took 4 all in one fell sweep instead of 2, and then 20 minutes later, another 2. And the whole day, pretty much since like around 1 p.m., it's now 18:52, so it's almost 7 p.m. at night. I haven't had any period pains. So it's exactly like grandpa now, or any other painkiller. It eradicated my pains. Those pills came to my rescue. So now I don't have to take it every 2 hours. Like I said, the main thing here was the dosage. I just needed to get the dosage right, and I took 4 instead of 2, and as a result, for about 8 to 9 hours, I am period pain free. So thank God I did not have to deal with those period pains for the 48 to 36 hours that I tended to endure them back then. The ALA worked. The alpha lipoic acid worked. I'm not recommending this. I'm just letting you guys know what happened. I wouldn't recommend that you take alpha lipoic acid when you're on your period to eradicate pain, because just take a regular Myprodol. Like, just take painkillers as usual, because you are not suffering the way that I'm suffering. But I explained to you guys that alpha lipoic acid worked for me during a time when nothing else was pulling through. I've got tampons to get me to the end of my period. I've got painkillers to get me to the end of my period. But I was supposed to basically use nothing but toilet paper throughout my period and just writhe in bed, twisting like a log in it for the duration of time that it would take for my period to subside. And in that time, grumble against God, feel like trash, and thoroughly, apparently, allegedly, deeply consider being with a man that would have, of course, killed me, but not first before giving me HIV. That is the kind of ridiculousness that is coursing through the veins of the black community. That is how badly we are essentially passing away. And I am trying to evangelize pretty much everybody, be you black, white, pink, or purple, because everybody needs salvation. But I am really, really trying to send out a gargantuan olive branch to the black community's women to say, y'all, and I've done a video like this before, but I keep coming with different angles to help you understand why this is so important. We get that coming to Christ takes a lot. You have to take up your cross, follow him daily, deny yourself. You also have to count the cost of being a disciple. You have to separate yourself from the world, and you face a risk of being unpopular. As a result, you're going to lose family, you're going to lose friends, etc. But that is a small price to pay for the protections that you gain as a black woman from the insanity of the black community. The self-denial and the ostracization of your person, the isolation of your person, the complete disregard of you, and the ignoring of your pain. That is a small price to pay for godly protection. That's the reason why these men are working so hard, and women, to make me abandon Jesus. The jealousy in the black community that is awarded those who give their lives to Christ is as exorbitant as it is, precisely because of how much we become the exception to the norm and we escape a grain that slaps everybody else. The situation is dire. There is no protection. Nobody takes care of the black woman. Literally nobody. Nobody. No, not the black woman, and certainly not the black man. Nobody has our back but us. And by us, I mean not black women as a concert, but you, when only one, you gotta have your own back. And I'm sorry, you're not gonna have your own back because you got a career. You're not gonna have your own back because you have a car and your own house. Because herein lies the deal. I keep listening to all of these well-meaning women on TikTok giving advice to black women as to how to protect yourself from a black man. I don't really follow them because I'm not logged on, right? I've told you guys that before, but they keep getting recommended to me and I listen to them. Their stories are the same, all right? And one lady who is a life coach is counseling women. Like I said, she means well, and frankly, I largely agree with her, and I love her content. But in this particular regard, I couldn't agree with her. Where it is that she was like, men treat you the way that you allow them, or men treat you rather her commentary was along the lines of men know who to abuse. Thank you, son. Men know who to mistreat. Men know who to mistreat. So women, stop getting yourselves into relationships with men when you don't have money. Because he's going to use this money against you. When you don't have your own car, uzokosha out of his car. When you don't have your own house, he's going to tell you at 12 p.m. at night, get out of my house. Men know who to mistreat. So if you don't want to be mistreated by a man, get all of your own stuff and make sure you have your own house to go to. You have your own car to drive. Don't even let yourself get to a point where your car is not in close proximity to you at any given moment. Don't let him drive you to dates. Don't let him, etc. Just have your own back. Have your own back, and always be able to call your own Uber just in case he kicks you out of his house, and go back to your own comfortable duvet. You don't have to have a mansion. The problem, you ladies, is that you want the estate mansion. The problem is that the estate mansion, and if you are prepared to take it at the expense of your peace, they will make you Popeye. Therefore, so Uplomile, you're sitting in an estate mansion, there is no quality in your relationship, and I, to a very small extent, agree. Or maybe, let me not say small, because that's unfair. Maybe 40% of the way I agree. Only because the way that men are right now in 2024, especially in the black community, they have no respect for where we come from at all. Men used to provide for women, and women used to feel safe in their midst. Umfazi did not have to have a job to be safe with her husband. She did not have to have her own car to trust that her man is not going to kick her out of his or refuse to pick her up because after a fight, he's using resources against her. Men were just chivalrous in spite of differences that they had with women. They just got what they needed to do. There was a time when men did not use resources that women had in order to make their lives a living nightmare. Do you understand? What is going on in 2024 is a demon. It's a principality. It's another thing altogether, where that which you have or do not have is used to abuse you. And so women are feeling as if they need to go and find protection in having a strong career. They need to have, they find protections in having their own car, their own houses, and their own what have you. When you're not looking at the root cause. You're not just realizing that hona lebo thata ka banna at all, because this lady speaks about how it is that men know who to mistreat just by mere virtue of the fact that a man can mistreat one woman and yet not another. And this here is determined by nothing but material possessions. Just because this one is able to hold her own, you are better towards her. I'm sorry, that is not a man. I don't know what it is. It's the clown. It's Candyman. It's the Grudge. I don't know, some horror movie character like Freddy Krueger. It is not a man. It is an opportunist that will literally rear his ugly head and bring forth fangs the moment an independent woman loses that independence for whatever reason, because life happens. Like a fair weather monstrosity is not going to take care of you. He is only going to bridle his flesh and hold his horses because you have your own house. You have your own car. You should be safe swinging on a hammock left to right, tranquil, almost like you're on a dinghy in the center of a very still lake, just swaying and letting the motion of the water move you about, only relaxed, napping. You should be that way as a woman in a relationship, in and out of wealth, in and out of a car, in and out of a house, in and out of like family love. Vows in marriage, it's sickness and in health, good times and in bad, richer for poor. There's a reason why those vows are communicated or spoken or shared or exchanged in marriages, because a dude should not be freaking fair weather, and neither should a woman. So to give women counsel, and like I said, this woman means well, and I really like her and I like her content, but she's not using, there's a root cause, Lana. I was successful, all right? I had everything I needed. I had my apartment, my cars, lots of clothes, lots of money, lots of ability to take care of my own self. And I had a boyfriend who at the time, when I was materially very strong, would never have done anything strange against me, to a point where I actually thought he was a great guy. I thought he was a great guy. However, the flames that guy showed me when I lost everything, just like it. I did not lose everything while I was with him, but that ex-boyfriend of mine, because of the bitterness of me refusing to get back together with him, like the amount of witchcraft that he just piled on, the insults on the existing injuries that he put on, the reviling, the mistreatment, the witchcraft, the colluding with my family, but basically that dude became a beast I never knew. I was with that bugger for 5 years. And what character flaws he wore in the season of my lack were so shocking to advance that I could not believe that it was the exact same dude. When a person can freaking change like that, purely because you lost a job, I'm sorry, you are not safe. Life happens, okay? Life happens. People lose jobs. Like, people get retrenched. Businesses tank. And if your husband is gonna act some strange fool, because life happened, yeah, but you were never safe. And the thing that I'm trying to highlight right now to women is that imvikelo, protection, tshireletso ka nnete, is from God. Y'all need to understand, it is Jesus that can make a man not fair weather. Lama demoni avukayo enhliziyweni yendoda when you lose a job, or when he finds you ungena a job. Ah, shame. A Christian man is not out here in these streets hopping up and down on a beach ball with them. Gune recognition and understanding of ama vows, irrespect, inhlonipho for a relationship, marriage. Lerato la ratwa, lenyalo la ratwa ke bazalwane, and la tlhompha, because rena le instruction from a source that is apart from us. We are guided by the Holy Spirit. We are not guided by the things of this world. If at all a man can treat you like trash, ngoba awuna msebenzi, the sisters, you're not safe. You are never going to be safe. Ngijole nendota for 5 years yonke. Wangibonisa ma flames only cause ngilahlekelwe. Even before I lost my job, we were cordial. After breaking up, it was me losing my job that made him a monster. So the counsel of that lady, while she means well and she's trying to help women along, bottom line is, if at any given moment you find yourself in a dry patch and you are therefore now not safe with your husband, you were never safe with him at all. The only thing that was protecting you was material possessions which can flee out the window. Brick and mortar which can pulverize because of extreme heat. You are dealing with an unstable, shaky foundation, and you can find yourself in the grave. Because the otherwise regular, normal dude that was respectful and loving, sekuyinja manje ngoba uretrenchiwe hade pade impilo yayenzakala la emgaqweni. The fact that just to have a man at all in your life that can kick you out of indlu yakhe ebusuku, aski sishem. The same guy magajola ne girlfriend entsha that has her own house, that chick is still in danger. The woman who can't be successfully kicked out and create any dent in this guy's heart or life, the woman that a guy can't take out ikugu on, she's still emanzina shisayo man, because lenja lena ine potential yokumqosha endlini yakhe. When lendlu yakhona irepossesswa ngoba ulahlekelwe umsebenzi uretrenchiwe, you need Christ usomanda uye that is going to put you in the life of indoda engeke ikulahlele estradini ebusuku ka 11 p.m. busiku wena wakubwa because you had an argument. You are told by some animal, phuma endlini yami, just like it. Cabang uzokhulunywa with like that, utlobua with like that. All of your emotions in Jeffela just ignored. Namby pamby bugger, not out here trained up by God. And so uyazi ukudelela ngoba I avenue yokudelela ikhona, kune leg room yokudelela, so uyadelela. Basadi tle le ka se rate le rato gakalo, le ka se batle le rato gakalo to a point where you will ignore ama glaring red flags. It is not about making sure that you have everything in a bunch before you get in a relationship. It is about the fact that it's untrustworthy to be with a dude that can't treat you well. Mongena ma tempon. Mebantu bagini batita like rubbish. This woman was even speaking about indota, be careful. Don't tell a man everything. Don't tell him don't tell him when your sisters don't love you, when your mom treats you like trash. If at all you cannot be transparent full through with your husband about what's going on in your life and trust him to be good to you in spite of what's going on around you, lenjala ife weather. Aitembeki nakancane. A person should not use whatever is lacking in a person's life in order to gain any kind of advantage against that individual. A godly man will love you with or without family. A godly man will adore you, an orphan, usaratwe. A godly man will not treat you like trash because abangani bakho abenandaba nawe. A godly man is not going to tell you pumendlinyam when you have an argument. Yes, like it, he will go in the bedroom, close the door, and breathe. Or in and of himself, he'll take his keys, go out, take a drive, aquatil, and then come back. He might even maybe greet you at Tsuputsumulo. There's a way to fight. That's godly. There's a way to disagree, to have a bad day with each other. Ningandlulana first stop go passaging this adu medicine mara akokube to kick you out or verbally abuse you. Hashem. You get to bonisukutukwatile. Maybe like I said, tupula mulom. Aba khudumedisa go hello. Ka mulomo nje fela nka ru jele matlapa. Mara wa dumedisa anyway. You can pass a person's shade, you can sleep in 2 different bedrooms. Man kwatelane. Mara you don't get to say phume endlini yam or phume emotweni yam. Middle of the N1 highway, lenja lezo stop at yellow lane and says pum. Yo, cause you're fighting. Kabang. Where is safety in that? Such men nya expect ukuthi ngiyo accommodate lenja le kwantsana giving you kwamele ngiyosithoba kikokobetse nna komoneng okangitahlela nko highwaying busigu because ra argue otlongsiang high out on a limb in a no network zone nje fela just leave me there and drive off yo nkaskoni I'm a woman. I need protection. I need to know ukuthi mina ngizovikelwa indoda that God has given me. That a man hangkwatetse might drive a little bit faster because he's a bit upset, but he will drive all the way home. He might bang the door. But nonetheless, that door that he's banging, he might sleep on the couch, but at least that he's paid for because he's paying my way. If at all, a man cannot love me despite anything that I'm struggling with, I'm in danger, especially in the black community. We get taken for granted. They don't care. You are not going to find protection. You are not, Basadi. It is not about having your own something or your own whatever, because at the end of the day, please, let's just put it out there. Life happens. Karabo did it not. Never did I thought in my life that I would ever struggle to afford a grandpa. I'm a myprodol for my period, or even a tampon for that matter. And yet look at me. And in the season, slithering a man that is that demon possessed, manifest a demon. It's bad enough niyatlapwa ningena Jesu. How much more will a man oloyang o satane hakana o tlesenka korobela? How much more is he going to manifest? At the hands of a man. Heart attack, car accident, multi-car vehicle pileup, like some kind of carnage in Jeffela where my body is disembodied. All of my limbs be flown all across these streets of Johannesburg. They wake it throw me off a building any day, but I'm not going to die at the hands of a man that I lay with at night. That has ever had my body. Who I have ever delivered children for. I get my intimate partner. Gender-based violence, I'm sorry, I was not born for that thing. I spent like proper day and night for the protection against amatota bolile ngoba they are my pet peeve. So nkampani ka lo bolawa ke anything else ke lo segwa ke something in a factory ang kutlwa ke tlhoka fela nje fela botlhoko ke utlwe pain engwe ke we mo hara molten lava ka pause. The way God tlhoka fela ga botlhoko ka teng, fast and furious before nna ke lo bolawa ke monna, fast and furious before ke lo bolawa ke monna. And I know that that's a thing because ngiyaba avoid. That's my strategy. I guess buy. If indota ayifuna usomandla angisbuy. Anginandaba that I don't have ama tampons and ayikho icherry la emgaqweni that can ever ngomona wakhe obolile wepenina that is ever going to neglect me to a point where I will accommodate injengenandaba nendaba yokuthi ngizwe ubuhlungu. esitshela ukuthi he's going to put me in even more pain just so I will finally take whatever offer he has to give me. Along for my rentsa a disente ke gona na o iketsetsa tšhelete yaka mara a ke gone because a ke rong blockile tibile out ya teng ke di type tsa go block a ke re ke motho wa mamlambo o ya thakatha lenja ya thakatha and the type of guy to angakutshela ukuthi unengculaza fabricate ama text results wakhona just so he can give it to you. Labantu abana maitseo, they have no scruples. Uzothatha an entire mzalwane that's been celibate waiting on Christ for 13 years bese uyomnikeza unqulaza so sonke lesikhathi inqulaza so sonke lesikhathi mina I've been waiting on Christ for a husband for 13 years. I've been celibate bese ngiyolala le ndoda the first time I have sex again after 13 years I am out here contracting HIV. Cabang ke ntho tse ke di bonang tseo by the grace of God ke na le spiritual gift and it's caused me this level of fever to avoid lezinja less. But women, it's not going to do anything for you to think ukuthi you can protect yourself by simply having material strength. Like I said, life happens and labafaz laba babole so much la emgaqweni. These women are so rotten, they are so disgusting that because ulahlekelwe umsebenzi bazogapa ngoba banomona vele, they will ditch you. They will leave you high and dry so that you will settle for usizo wakhona that all along you've had some kind of way bad, strong gut feeling guy. You've had a gut feeling Mount Everest ain't got jack on your gut feeling. The way it is you're so tall. Kodwa these tiggins will leave you high and dry. Bazokubhemisa inyawo beyondoda eTseriano wankutla. Throw you out on a limb highwaying with oncoming vehicles eZ20 that can't stop on time just so we can all kumbaya and celebrate being able to relate with one another. Masinikezwe inqulaza ngamadoda ethu. Lenja ele yase America, he keeps on regretting his one night stand that he had, claiming to be a Christian. He wasn't even supposed to be fornicating. He regrets his one night stand because he feels as if though if at all he didn't do his one night stand he wouldn't have contracted HIV and so he would be with me. Lenja le regrets the one night stand and not so much the sin against God of fornication. That's the problem. So if at all he did not contract le virus yakona and I ended up married to him, he was eventually gonna get it if at some point. It was just a matter of when. It was because he was a fornicator. So a man that can avoid HIV for long enough to marry you, shem askis, because he's not going to avoid it in the marriage. Uzognikeza yona. What protects you from a man uzognikeza inqulaza, guys? What? Or rather, correction, who? It is God. Mona wabusa wabasadi bana, yes, like it, but it's feverish. It's a beast. Wankutla ke phoofolo ke tau. Mona wa dicheritse batla go lahlela pela monna o tsherianeng o kula gona le di STD tse 20. Umsula uyivishi uyintombi nto bazokulahlela kwindoda that's sleeping with 20 women in 1 month ofufurile dicheritse 50 bese bazolahlela intombi nto to a man like that. Ngabafazi abantu abamnyama labo umona wabo it's beastly. Mona wa bona it's beastly. Hana motho o batlang protection aba batle tshireletso ka nnete ba batlang je fela hore kaofela re lo khumba ya re lo relate le taba rona ra trapwa ra tlapwa re lo relate ka taba rona ra ravaswa re lo relate ka taba rona re thotse ngolaza ko banna ba rona ba re fletla media le tlap le trichomoniasis le the whatever virus like vaginal wards kaofela tshwantse re ngwaye in our nether regions. And insofar as sonke sibhizi sigunyama antibiotics to overcome super gonorrhea sigrand singaba impintshi, but before then uzogapa labo tikin bazogapa wankutwa, they will neglect you. So manje mase ushiwe kangaka, and this is a problem in particular for black women. Mashiwe kangaka by women bazokulahlela, like I said, in the middle of a highway ko N1 busigo o sa bona galo apere diaparo tse dintsho o tla ditraka tse 3 motho go siang re lo rolwa over ke dikoloi re ba go bolai o lo tholwa fela o senga letsatsi le tshaba o lo di body parts tsa gago di o olwa ka garaf the way o bolailweng ga botlhoko khateng ga ba sa di ba le happy go sia o le da ke mang o tlo go tlosang mo highway e before truck ya o qala e go rolla e go drive before the first truck hits you, before o chase wa ke koloi ya B1 o bo chase and then the rest of them tsa ko morago di vela fela di go flatten di etsa means meet ka bo ka mmele wa hao. And fela ha letsatsi le chabile ke hona ba totholang mmele wa hao. And I speak like this because my mom used to know this one cop back in the day, Ipoisa, that would tell us the gruesome horror stories of some of the scenes that he had basically been at. And one of the scenes, the dude was knocked over at night. O chase ke koloi busiu hana motho bone ngo rona le motho tla ka fetseng until letsatsi le chaba. And overnight o rotswe ke traka ke di BMW, everything just over the body until in the morning it became clear ukuthi bathong people have been driving over a dead body. It's not a carcass ya animal, it's a human being. Until somebody discovered ukuthi you guys have been driving over literally a human being. And then they quarantined the scene and apparently they had to pick up his body parts ka garaf. abafazi bazoshiya unjalo uyopihluzwa imoto bese the rest of them ride over your body and your body parts get collected ngeharafu because the negligence will have been so intense that awuzobonwa ukuthi ushonile for a good 48 hours. Mmele wa gago tla bo gcina ongga umunko wa putrefaction wankutlo munko wa decomposition will be the thing that will alert your neighbors to understand ukuthi umuntu ushonile bese wena uyo picked up ngeharafu tshwantse go lo cremate mona because re ka se be le any other kind of burial tshwantse re etsa cremation because ayo engwe tsela. Everything else is too disturbing. You are unidentifiable. Not even ngama dental records. You have been DNA. That's the only way out. DNA test. That's the only way that you can ever discover ukuthi ngubani lo muntu wena oshonile. That's what's good. Lebola jwalo. Women are the ones that put you in a position ore lo rola ke dikoloi. Ke mang o tlo go tlosang pela traka e tlang. Ba go sile, ba go bindile hand and foot, ba go aperise, ba go apesitse diaparo tse dintsho. O ro ska bonagala bosiu. Who's gonna remove you supernaturally from there? Ain't no man gonna be able to come to you on time. Ain't no reasonable dude gonna remove you from that space. You need Christ to protect you and to supernaturally deliver you from wicked women abazogulahlela in front of a moving truck of disgusting men. Abantu, but people in the black community, guys, basangene in a family, like in your family, bazogulahlela bakphonse nje to izinja that don't deserve you. Bathathe babona or mona ke tshwere 10 for the price of 1 and just run with it. Bayotshontsha nje ngamamake ka dimamlambo tsa bona. Who is going to protect you? Who? Christ is the only one that can have your back when your mother and father forsake you. The black community is presently in disarray and very mentally ill. In the run-up to them recovering, if at all, you need protection. In the run-up to the black community coming out of their little schizophrenic era, who is going to save you and your daughters? Because nobody has our back as black women. Again, it's literally every man for himself. Unfortunately, we are supposed to with one another. Kodwa asiyovikelwa thina as black women unless we turn to Jesus. He's the only one that can protect you from some idiot that insists ukuthi ungabi nama tampon on your period. Lo muntu akhona akazi ukuthi what it's like to feel period pains without medication. Mara, it's a means to an end to him. Karabo's pain don't mean jack. Ingembezi zakho during that time don't mean jack. Indaba yokuthi you are second guessing God during that time don't mean jack. Indaba yokuthi you are bashing your fist, you are feeling forsaken, you are feeling alone, you are feeling suicidal. They don't care because it's a means to a freaking end. It's a means to an end. Banjalo. What are you gonna do when you need salvation from that? Jesus. They will literally order events so as to orchestrate your eventuality in their lives. Basa go tshwanele ba tshiriane bana ba and on top of that ba kula. Ha se kukwenya di ARV mara ba batla basadi ba bang. Ba already ba kwintsisitse basadi ba bona di ARV mara ba batla lo nkanyatsi engwe e batlo ikwintsisang di ARV vievie. Wonke umuntu la emgaqweni kwamela kunyama ARV. Ngoba la madoda abaspice kelem say ho habana di break habana full stop ke sentence ka ofela nje fela paragraph o tlam day 1 enza itswela pele le pele ana ha gona comma ha gona exclamation mark ha gona underscore, nothing, no punctuation, ha gona full stop, ha gona di break. If it is a drive ha gona di stop sign, ha gona yield, ha gona cul-de-sac, ha gona roundabout, ha gona T junction, ha gona robot, nothing. Motho wa tsamaya nje fela 250 kilometers down go highwaying. Hana taba or king atlo hitang animal or a human being. Top of that, in and of himself, head-on collision abas by aguna ma break. Umuntu onyana ma break kazo uzo deliver one nini from the vehicle nje fela that's just going. Uzo deliver one nini from a paragraph engena grammatical sense etlamped nje fela yonke aguna full stop, aguna comma, aguna underscore. Who is going to deliver you from that incoherent freaking sentence? Who is going to deliver you from that incoherent man? There is no full stop, no comma, no underscore, no yield sign, no T junction, no robot, no full stop, nothing. We are Rambanje. Just go. Takes whatever he wants, and by the end of his life, you look at the littered cadavers in these streets, the strewn dead bodies, the carnage behind him of women that he has lain waste. We are tatanja botla mandoza. Having given I don't know how many women HIV in the run-up to, like Ukabzela, having given I don't know how many women in the run-up to Banjal. Who is going to protect you from these men? I kid you not, it's not going to be your car. It is not going to be the fact that you have your own house or the fact that you have a strong career. It's going to be a God who can tell you, he's trying to replace me. Satan, he's trying to replace me. He's trying to make you walk away from him because you don't have tampons on your period. He is trying to replace me because you don't have painkillers on your period. Karabo. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. I am trying to help you guys understand Uguti. There is no safety in your own little self-protection. There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to destruction. La matota la atla go tawisa go nwise wine ha ba qeta mo ba lo tlhokofala ke full blown AIDS ile hore ke mang that would have been nursing them on their deathbed. Who hospice nurse wenziwe i-hospice nurse mo girlfriend ethengelwa ama-tampon kodwa now you're a hospice nurse. The very same guy okunikeza i-HIV, you are nursing him on his deathbed. Kunjalo hojwalo. How in the world are you going to take that in your stride? Who is going to protect you from that eventuality? Kaufela thinking it's clamorous. The black community is cantankerous. It's loud. It's noisy. It's gongy. It's showy. Ha gona phomolo. Cause ke a hlanywa la emgaqweni ga tlhoriswa ke bana that o ka se mo sole shem until you lose something. And the next thing he rears his ugly head. Kushukuthi ake abekho abe na decency. It's not just the blue collar randos abatlapo bothekene, it even the ones by white collar. Ha gona tshireletso other than in Jesu. We are alone as black women. Nobody is coming for us. No white man, no white woman. No Indian man, no Indian woman. No one, not even no black woman. We are uniquely and individually responsible to take care of ourselves. And there's no one other than God. Because spiritual weapons in the black community, who shem, uktagata, asike go rata korobela king, asike go rata sabotage, asike go rata pull the rug from underneath the feet, asike go rata nka career, asike go rata foster mosadi rulala ba lengwana out of wedlock, asike go rata go cause basadi ba bantle ba leng viable go sa nyalwe ba 1040 with the single that can manipulate with spiritual weapons. Who is going to protect the individual unique black woman? Akuna muntu lana other than Jesu Christ Shem. I-career yakho ayizokusiza ngoba nayo ingalahleka any minute now. Why? Because there's baba sabotage abaloye ube ulahlekelwe ki-career that you never thought you could ever lose. Top of your class, best experience. Wonke umuntu is head hunting you on LinkedIn, and yet next thing good try. Why? Because some high priestess has come at you because someone decided that you needed to be tripped up. Black people, Tina, the way that we are so up and down in our careers, the way are strangely getting, the way really qualified, like you proper uba stable. The next thing you are facing the loss of bond yako. Ngoba you have lost a job just like that. The ons and offs of our lives. Hakuna stability. Hakuna such a thing as mutho o sebeditse from the time I qadile azwa matriki all the way up until I retire without there being some kind of a patch, a season where you were facing repossession of a house, you were facing kids getting taken out of private school, you were our lives are just so up and down like that because Muto can't just be truly successful through and through because really if ufundile and if you are highly skilled, why should you ever be unemployed again? From the time you work your first job, the skills exodus in the country and the skills lack in the country is such that you should never ever be out of a job because my skills are sufficient. The government has confirmed that themselves. Or there is a skills lack in the country. So njengoma so skilled, njengoma ufunde ngangaka, why unga employee? Why only unemployable? Utlile jwang go tloba o dula ko hae for 6 months. Utlile jwang go dula ko hae for month for jara kaofela. Utlile jwang hore bonde e we ntshitseng 2 years ago you are facing having to sell kankane or repossession. Kanjani? Ufundile, ugraduateile and you gained experience kodwa awukwazi ukuthola umsebenzi for 2 years yonke. Such rubbish happens in the black community over and over and over again. Who is going to protect you from lokusangana kwethu? Who? I need the bathroom.